myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
Okay, Coach, well, the holiday rush, that's in full swing in nearby Manhattan, but we've got football here 8 miles west at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Miami Dolphins. 3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Go, son.
55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Come on, young lady. Hey, Haywood.
Mike 55.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches.
Watch safety creep.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. Bell so light on his feet. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Take four. Here we go. Hey, lady. Mike 50.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line.
Hey, wahoo!
Darnold from the gun. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
10 more yards. That's another Jets first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Shift.
Hey, ready? Here we go.
Here's Bell. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
52 by 52. It's coming this way. Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 13-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Here we go, son.
Watching you five.
Hey, ready?
Now a first down carry by Bell. And stacked a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
First down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Here we go, son.
55. Right there in the middle. 55. I'm trying to collect.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
2nd and goal from the 1. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Right there.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They run it with Ballage. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Rosen completes it to Parker. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. With Devontae Parker, there was quite a bit of chatter in the offseason that the Dolphins might not pick up his 5th-year option, but they did. And one man who's certainly happy with that, quarterback Josh Rosen. It's a guy that Brian Flores, head coach in Miami, wants around and in that locker room. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now it's Rosen. They'll set up the screen to Balaj. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Balaj. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The play fake to Balaj. Now Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Jordan Willis.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Rosen. Open man, it's Preston Williams. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And now it's Rosen looking, and that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
52. I got him. Young lady. No, check that.
To throw is Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Bell. There's some space here. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47.
Hey, Team 6. Team 6. Coming to you. 52.
Now it's Darnold. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Watch 52. 52's the mic.
Darnold now to throw. He's got Herndon, his tight end. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. They get it to him running left. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Balaj. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Rosen to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Darnold. Anuno's got it, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
We're going to sign. 55. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Yo, 80. Go.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold, and he's got a noon one. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Darnold now nearly perfect, 9 of 10 in this 1st half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry in there to get him, and with it, time will expire here in this 1st half of play. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And the Dolphins are going to recover.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now Adam Gase has put a pair of fingers up in the air. His offense is going to go for 2. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen. And this is Parker, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Darnold. And Anderson's got it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The throw by Darnold, hauled in by the tight end Herndon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Hey, dude. Check. Fresno.
After the run, now Darnold to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Rosen looking to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
80. Check. 80.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13.
That's good for a Jets 1st down.
Darnold now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
Check. Lucky. Yo, 80.
Bell. He finds some open field here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Jet 1st down, 18 big yards that time. This is Bell. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the 1st half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now Darnold. A screen to Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. From 8 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The tackle there by Brian Poole. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Rosen will throw. And this will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 3rd down, Rosen. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down. They'll run here with Blanche. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 49-yard line.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Preston Williams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Rosen, and Wilson has it. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 33. Rosen now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. The play fake to Balazs. Now Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Avery Williamson, the linebacker. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Caught by Wilson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. Here's Rosen. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. C.J. Mosley. And the Jets are going to get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here's Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. This is caught inside the 15. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Now, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited? Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point? And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Intercepted. The Jets take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
We're going to sign. Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Man, ready? Yo. Hey, Charlie. Dude's the Mike. Mike 52.
Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So for the Jets, they'll take them where they can get them right about now as a victory moves their record to 2-11 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Miami, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. Don't really need down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can